Hey everybody, Dr. Michael Breus, the sleep doctor here, and we are having quite an interview.
We are. Tell them where we are.
We are at the Haston's Sleep Spa on the Grand Vividus. This is the most expensive mattress in the world. $400,000 bed. Over
I thought it's a mattress.
I know, right? $120,000 worth of materials. Over 600 hours to create them. And there are only a certain number of people who are actually certified to make the product itself. It's truly an incredible. It's a piece of art. It's really.
It is a piece of art. Well, I feel very honored to be sitting on this bed, especially with you. And let's kind of give some people some information.
You bet.
What about your five sleep hacks? Let's start there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So step number one is to wake up at the same time every single day. Now people, notice I didn't say go to bed. I said wake up at the same time every single day, okay? Now, including the weekends, right? So there was a great study that came out a couple months back where what they showed was people who got 5.5 hours of sleep during the week and 8 hours of sleep on the weekends, they followed them for 6 weeks, right? They looked at their mood, their focus, and their memory. Guess what? All of them just kept getting worse and worse and worse, even though they were catching up with the 8 hours on the weekends. And here's the kicker, is that a lot of the subjects, when you ask them on Monday, after they got their weekend catch-up sleep, how bad were they doing, they didn't have any idea how bad they were doing. So you think you're fine, but in fact you're not. So wake up at the same time every single day, including the weekend.
Look, it's so funny, you've told me this before. So I have you always like in the back of my mind when I'm trying to sleep in on the weekend. I'm saying, I'm going to catch up. And I was like, shoot. Dr. Breus said I'm going to wake up no matter if I went to bed at 2 in the morning.
Exactly.
Streaming Netflix, I gotta wake up.
Out of bed at the same time.
Okay,
right? Step number two has to do with caffeine.
Okay.
So I want people to stop caffeine by 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Stop caffeine.
Now notice I didn't say eliminate caffeine. Now just to be clear, we've seen a rise in caffeine consumption lately, right? Because people are at home more and they're not just making a cup of coffee, they're making a pot for the day, and then all of a sudden turns into 2 and it's a mess, right? And so with this increased caffeine consumption, people don't realize that it takes between 6 and 8 hours to get half of the caffeine out of your body, just half. Here's the crazy part, the quarter life is 12 hours. So if you drink a cup of coffee at 11 o'clock in the morning, a quarter of it is still with you at 11 o'clock at night. Yes, that is correct. So
that's shocking.
I know, right? So my goal is if we can get people to stop, everything with caffeine by 2 p.m.
That's what I want to ask you. Everything, like matcha tea.
Okay, but to be fair, I do like when people, as you're making the transition, switching to matcha tea is great. I like the matcha that's in the tin, like the 1 pound ones. The green ones. Yes. They're awesome. They're easy.
I love that. That's
cooking, things like that. Like, do you put them in cookies?
No, I just do a latte, an iced latte.
That's great. See, that's good in the afternoon because it's less caffeine than what would be a normal cup of coffee.
And it's more of like a...
And it's got L-theanine in it, which helps with focus.
Okay.
So that's another reason. But I would say switch to matcha then at 2, and then that would probably be your last thing that would have any caffeine in it. But I have to tell you, it's okay to still have some chocolate.
Oh, I do. I'm glad you said that because I do have that. Like right before bed.
I know.
So that's okay?
It's okay. I mean, don't eat like a 4-pound
bar. No, like
bar.
a square. Like a square. Like
fine.
70% or higher dark chocolate. It's okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I would be divorced if I said that I could not have chocolate. I'm just letting you know. That's how it works in my house.
Okay.
Step number 3 has to do with alcohol.
Okay.
There's a really big difference between going to sleep and passing out.
Okay, well, yes.
Right? So that's not what we want. That's no bueno on the passing out, okay? So here's the thing. It takes the average human body approximately 1 hour to digest 1 alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
Right? So here's where it gets a little wonky. So what I tell people is, if you have 1 drink, drink 1 glass of water, right? Because remember, alcohol is a diuretic. Wait 1 hour before bed. 2 drinks, 2 glasses of water, 2 hours before bed. You really don't want to go past 2 drinks, and I'll tell you why. So when you have more than 2 drinks, your brain sees that your brain is becoming intoxicated. So it spikes cortisol to keep you awake. Well, if you're trying to go to bed, it's basically you've got like an energetic drunk going on, which is not going to get you a whole lot of sleep,
That's a
right?
recipe for disaster.
So if you stop at 2 drinks and you give yourself 3 hours and 2 glasses of water, I think you're in good.
Okay, well that's good. We're still getting to have a little alcohol and still have good sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay, what number are we on?
4. So step number 4 is one of your favorites, exercise.
Yay!
So everybody should be exercising. It's the easiest way to actually improve the quality of your sleep. However, you don't have to run a marathon, okay? We're talking like 20, 25 minutes. I mean, even if you just park your car further away and walk more, or you take the dog out, whatever it is, get yourself in movement. So what's interesting is, especially now, people haven't been moving as much, right? And that movement affects our ability to get good quality sleep. Remember, sleep is recovery.
Right.
So if you don't do anything to recover from, there's not a whole lot of sleep that's gonna be going on. Here's the other big kicker about exercise, is it increases your core body temperature, which is not great for sleep, because remember, our sleep follows our declining core body temperature. We want it to be cooler. So step number 4 is to exercise daily, but to stop exercise 4 hours before bed.
That was what I wanted to ask. And then number 5.
Step number 5 has to do with my morning wake up routine. And so I call it the 15, 15, 15. Okay. So the first thing you do is when you wake up, you take 15 deep breaths. This really helps center you, kicks in your respiratory system, and helps bring your center focus where you need it to be. The second thing you should have is you should have 15 ounces of room temperature water. Because you got to hydrate. You know, most people don't know sleep in and of itself is a dehydrative event. And so you actually lose almost a full liter of water in your sleep every single night. So by drinking 15 ounces of water, you start to replenish yourself. The other 15 thing to do is to go outside and get 15 minutes of sunlight. So here's what's interesting about that. When the sun hits your eye, you have a special cell in your eye called a melanopsin cell, which turns off the melatonin faucet in your brain. So that's good, because that's kind of the thing that's still going.
You're still like groggy in the morning, so you go out, you get that sunlight, it shuts that off, and then you start to feel energized because the melatonin has then gone down.
Exactly.
Yay!
And so those are my 5 steps for better sleep and better health.
Those are so great. Thank you so much. Always such great information. But I do feel like you don't always give me the information when I talk to you. I have to constantly ask you, and then you drop bombs on me.
You just have to keep coming back for more.
I know. Well, you guys, Dr. Breus is on the Reshape Live website. He's one of our incredible contributors. He's changed my health journey, that's for sure. He has also an incredible website. TheSleepDoctor.com. Books, a new book that's going to be coming out.
Yep, I've got a new book.
Said that?
It's okay, yeah, absolutely.
I will be telling
you
guys.
We have a new book coming out in December. It's going to be called Energize, How to Go from Dragging Ass to Kicking It in 30 Days or Less.
Look at you, shaking things up.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you.